Welcome everyone to this 3-part travel video in which we cross the Spanish Pyrenees from west to east. Join us as we explore some of Spain's best off-road destinations. Spectacular country, very lonely places and unbeatable off-roading. Now, sit back, grab a cold one and enjoy. After a very long and grueling 12-hour drive, we arrived in Royan, which is about a 2-hour drive north of Bordeaux. We got off the ferry and entered the Médoc Natural Park. We spent most of the day on the beach, trying to get back some of the lost sleep, before we hit our first off-road trek into the forest, looking for camp. After a quick feed, we had an early night, and the next morning, with energies restored, we plowed through some soft sand to make it back to the tarmac. We aired back up and headed straight for Spain. Look, I really tried to find every possible hole going down this trek. I had been here 2 years prior to this, but crazy what 2 years of weather does to a place. Up ahead is a section that got completely washed out. You need to really hug the ride to not fall into a waist-deep hole, and to add to the excitement, it was on a really bad angle. Keep an eye on the horizon and you will see what I mean.
Oh, this is so uncomfortable.
Now, I'm in a Toyota Hilux on 31-inch mud-terrain tires, with rear lockers and low range. For my friend following me, however, completely different story. No lockers, no low range, and street tires. To say the adrenaline was running high is an understatement. Unfortunately, his line choice wasn't the best, and he had to commit straddling the rod, crossing it later down the line. Putting his tire only millimeters from falling in.
Aye. Are you Oh no.
We made it, and we didn't waste any time to set up and take in the scenery. What a beautiful place this is. next morning, we had to get back up the same track we came down. This time, however, it wasn't as much as a hassle as the previous day. Never mind that. Although Sven got stuck for a brief moment, morale was high.
Yeah, boy, yeah! Woo!
Well driven, Mike. We continue to drive further down south, driving on these spectacular gravel roads. What a dream. Soon after, we entered the Bardenas Reales, which is one of Spain's desert regions. With 415 square kilometers, it is not the biggest desert, but still, it offers vast open spaces that give you a sense of remoteness that you don't find often in Europe. If you have never been to a desert before, I highly recommend doing this. It feels like you're in a Western movie from the 60s, and Clint Eastwood is just around the corner. We explored different parts of the desert, with the main goal to cross it from west to east. But, unfortunately, we came across a section that was impassable due to it being washed out. So, we had to turn back around and find another way, which led us to getting a little bit lost at some point, but made our desert experience even better. We had spent more than half a day in the desert already, and the heat started to get the better of us. So we made our way out and found a beautiful camp spot in the welcoming shade of the trees next to the Aragon river. What a beautiful spot to cool off, have a feed, maybe a beer or two, and reflect on the day. Later that night, the rain cooled us even more.
Sven, Fred. Kan du se det?
The next morning, the storm had passed, and after some coffee, we went to explore an abandoned house we saw the day before, not too far from camp. Ruins like this one are in abundance throughout Spain, and this one wasn't the only one we encountered that day. I am amazed by the number of gravel tracks you can drive in Spain. You can spend hours and hours driving like this, connecting different tracks with different difficulties and ever-changing scenery and views that make it hard to concentrate on the track. To me, this is a four-wheel drive paradise. I just cannot get enough. This being the fourth day on the road, our supplies started to shrink a little. We needed to find somewhere to buy supplies for the upcoming days. To our luck, we came through the town of Sangüesa. We took a few wrong turns in the twisty streets of this medieval city and ended up driving through a very narrow street with low-hanging balconies on either side. I was quite nervous going through there, thinking I would catch the balconies with my rooftop tent, but made it out unscathed. Next destination in our schedule are the ruins of Ruesta, another small village from the 10th century. We expected it to be completely deserted, but much to our surprise, there was a lot of life in these ruins. Ruesta lies on the Camino de Santiago, which is popular with hikers and offers them a hostel and a campsite. In 2021, reconstruction of some of the buildings were carried out for the rehabilitation project of the village. There's even a small bar and restaurant run by the very friendly locals who offered us some delicious cold beers. After a few cold ones, we searched for a camp and found this beauty of a spot right next to the lake. And the sunset did not disappoint either. How spectacular are the Pyrenees! Driving further east every day, it started to get greener again, a sign that we left the desert behind. More lakes appeared, and the mountains surrounding us got bigger. We passed the truly magnificent Mallos Riglos rock formation that seemed to pop up out of nowhere. Towering 300 meters high, they dwarf everything surrounding them. Breathtaking sights. We continued on our drive through the Pyrenees, making our way through the winding roads of the Sierra de Guara National Park. Known for its raging rivers and deep gorges, it is a very popular destination for rock climbers and wild water rafters. However, we found a more relaxing gem of a spot, that is Puente de Pedruel. This marks the end of our first video. If you are still with us, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.